welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. This is Jenny from Polly's Paper Studio. I know it's been a bit since I've been on, but we're all just kind of finding our new routine in this crazy situation we find ourselves in. But I did want you all to know how much I've been thinking about you and missing connecting with you. So I just thought I'd step in with this quick card project. This is a Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse collection, and I'm kind of hoping to encourage a little bit more warm weather on our way here in Michigan. Today it is 37 degrees and snowing in April, which is not okay by me. But so let me know in the comments what your weather is and how you are staying sane and keeping busy during your quarantine. So before I jibber jabber too much longer, let's get this project started. My card today is 6 by 6 inches, and I picked this square design because it would work best with my focal image, and I did finish the inside, so it will have a nice finished look inside and out. Here is the base, and I am using the collection papers along with the beautiful Dove Gray cardstock to act as a nice border. And my first layer I'm just adding right to the card base. Then I will begin to add some dimension. So I have my second layer here on foam, and it's the same gray cardstock. I'm adding my double-sided adhesive tape. Then I'll come back in with some Tombow, and then that will be extra secure. I'll just secure this right in the center, and you'll still be able to see that sweet floral pattern. Here is the plaid that I'm putting on top, and this is so gorgeous. It coordinates perfectly, and I like the larger scale. It's definitely making a statement on this card. I've also got a little bit of wood grain. Now this didn't come from Simple Stories. This came from Bo Bunny, and it was actually part of a Halloween collection, but I liked the tone of this wood. Had a little bit of script on it, and then also a couple hearts, so I thought that was really cute. I'm just going to add that right to the bottom. That will split that top layer and give it a little bit of extra detail. So I chose this journal card from the collection, and I wanted to use it with this doily sort of die cut. I picked this up from Gina Marie Designs, and I love the square orientation of it, even though it really reminds me of a doily because it has that pretty scalloped edge, and it was a little bit too large. So I went ahead and took my square die and just cropped out the center so that it will fit nicely, and you see how it just came right out of the middle. I went ahead and clipped a little bit of it off anyway because I wanted to be able to incorporate another layer of that cardstock, and I put that on some foam spacers so I could build even more dimension, but this will be flat right on the card front. I love that scallop edge by the plaid. It's very country inspired. I'm adding this with foam tabs instead of just my regular foam sheet because I need to stretch my basic supplies out just a little bit and wait for an order to come in. But like all other non-essentials, they are being delayed just a bit, so I've got to make the most use of what I can to stretch my supplies out until I do get an order. Here is that vintage image from the collection, and I'll just add that to my cardstock with the double-sided adhesive, and that will be a pretty focal image for the middle. Okay, so I've got a couple of arrangements here that I created with some dies. So I've got a couple different sizes and styles here, and then I've incorporated some loopy twine bows and some die cut foliage. So this pattern paper is actually from Graphic 45, not from the Simple Stories collection, but I think those peachy pink oranges coordinate really well, and because it had a subtle pattern on it that was small, it just adds a little bit of extra detail and makes that even more special. So what I've got is a larger arrangement for this corner and then a smaller one for this, and I was able to make these flowers have that beautiful dimensional look with stamens I picked up from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I'm going to add the one on the bottom first, and you can see that I'm only putting the hot glue basically on the one side because I need to leave this open to tuck in my bow, so I don't want it all the way attached. You see how that's just kind of hugging that corner and filling that in at the bottom. Here is my bow, and this is beautiful stitched satin ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. This is a very simple bow. Sometimes I add an extra loopy twine bow and a vintage button, but I want to be able to tuck this in underneath these flowers. So it's pretty simple and flat. And see, I just tucked it in under there, and I hold it in place while that glue sets up so that it makes a nice arrangement with the loops. That really helps to fill in that corner. Before I add my arrangement for the top, I did pick a couple of little charms from my stash, and it's just flowers, and I thought that went really well with my focal image. I've tied them together so that I could see exactly where they're going to fall, and then I'll attach that with more of the hot glue. All right, last but not least, I have a couple of little vintagey buttons here that have string tied through, and I'll add them to the bottom here right on top of that pretty wood grain pattern. And that's all for our Fresh Flower all occasion greeting card created with the Spring Farmhouse collection from Simple Stories and trims from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to check out those products. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a like and leave me a comment. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.